Welcome back to qualifying, where we're waiting for the lights to turn green in the pit lane to signify the start of the session here at the Hockenheim ring for this weekend's German Grand Prix.
It'll be Lewis Hamilton who take pole position for the German Grand Prix, making the most of the tricky conditions, out-qualifying his teammate Nico Rosberg by just over a tenth, and most Mercedes were over a second quicker than third place Valtteri Bottas. Alonso would drag his underpowered Ferrari up to fourth, but was still over 2 tenths slower than Valtteri Bottas. Once again, Sebastian Vettel would just out-qualify his teammate in fifth, Ricciardo sixth, and Massa a few tenths behind them in seventh position. The gearbox penalties for both Magnussen and Hülkenberg. This would promote Button up to 8th, Raikkonen 9th, and Perez rounding up the top 10, but was 2.3 seconds off of the pole position time set by Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen will start just outside the top 10, 11th is still right behind for 12th, and both will be looking for points in the race tomorrow. After the gearbox penalty, the Magnussen will line up 13th with Hülkenberg in 14th, just ahead of Kvyat and Grosjean. Russia brought a smaller race this race in hope of moving away from Caterham and closer towards the points positions. However, it doesn't look so far like these upgrades are working particularly well on the car, but they have moved ahead of Caterham for the time being. With the race expected to be completely dry, can Lewis Hamilton hold on to first position and extend his lead in the Drivers' Championship? Let's find out. It's time for the German Grand Prix. Hey guys, TYRE here. You join me for the 10th race of the F1 2014 season. Dominant front row luck out for Mercedes yesterday, and I'm definitely pleased the boss is here at the home Grand Prix for Mercedes-Benz. The question is, can they carry that pace over into the race? I should go out any second and be underway. Lights out and they're off. Hamilton looks to go best off from Rosberg. Now into turn 1. Hamilton leads. Rosberg to take off my line into the turn 1, and now puts under pressure from Valtteri Bottas. And Bottas making the move into turn 2. Keeps it side by side. But no, Rosberg squeezes Bottas out, which now leaves Bottas vulnerable to the Ferrari of Fernando Alonso. As Massa looks to make a move on both of the Red Bulls, and in fact dives it up the inside of Fernando Alonso as well. No collisions to the back, thankfully. Hamilton already with quite a gap to his teammate Rosberg. Bottas in third, Massa already up to fourth. Alonso fifth. The Red Bull of Sebastian Vettel in sixth, Ricciardo seventh. Button 8th, Raikkonen 9th, Perez 10th, Vergne just outside the points 11th, Magnussen 12th, Suttil 13th, Hülkenberg with a very poor qualifying, down in 14th position, as Raikkonen looks to go around the outside, or inside even, of Button, which slows them both down immensely, and now just creates this massive battle pack. Raikkonen looks to make a move on Button and take his position. No, Button squeezes him out. Of course no DRS yet, as it's only lap 2. This is just pure slipstream. Is Perez going to look? Perez looks to make it 3 wide into the hairpin. And Button keeps his position for now. Perez looking to the inside of Vergne. He's hold it round the outside. Does he take the position? Yes, he does. Now Suttil with a dive up the inside of Magnussen forces him out wide, now leaves him vulnerable to Hülkenberg. Raikkonen still looking for a way past Button into the stadium section. Trying into turn 1. No, he's not close enough this time. Now with DRS as we're on lap 3. Raikkonen patiently bides his time, tactically bides his time actually. Now he just DRS past him. DRS past Button down this straight hopefully. Although he's quite a way back, but the DRS should be enough to close on that McLaren. You see there the closing speed. But Raikkonen still doesn't make the move. There's Perez. Keeps ahead of Verne, with Sutil right behind. Hamilton slowly pulling away out in front. Rosberg in second still. Bottas still in third, just in front of his teammate Massa. Then Alonso, Vettel, Ricciardo. Button, who's still ahead of Raikkonen. Raikkonen's still stuck behind this McLaren. Really showing the lack of straight line speed in that Ferrari. Although McLaren have brought upgrades to this race, and they appear to be working at the minute, well for Button at least anyway. But now Raikkonen looks to make the move into the hairpin. Button hold it around the outside. Looks like he can, now it's going to be too wide into the next corner. Raikkonen takes the position. Field remains surprisingly close after the wet weather usually meant to close up the grid. Instead, it just extended the dominance of the Mercedes. Bottas now looking to pull away slightly from his teammate Massa. Perez isn't really managing to pull away from Verne or Sutil as much as he would be liking to. Now is Verne going to look to make the move into the hairpin? Pulls to the inside, thinks about it, but doesn't make the move. Well, Perez really starting to call the train behind him now. Now Raikkonen's got past Button. Can he make a charge for the other cars? The two Red Bulls, his teammates and the Williams. It's going to be a tall order if Raikkonen wants to do that. Bottas and Williams looking at the strong race here to try and solidify second place in the Constructors' Championship, as they're coming to this race 1 point ahead of Red Bull. Sutil has now got past Verne somewhere, and that puts Sutil up into 11th place and knocking on the door of a points position if he can get anywhere close to Perez. Now Magnussen's going to look to make a move on Verne. Going to make the same move Raikkonen did on Button. Although then tries to hold it around the outside but can't quite manage it. Now the more these battle, the more this is going to allow Perez to pull away. Once again, I think it's the straight line speed of these Williams keeping them ahead of the three behind in the DRS zone, because the straight line speed pretty much nullifies DRS versus the Ferraris and Red Bulls, at least, anyway. Okay, Raikkonen appears to be going slowly. Right, Raikkonen's got a puncture. Raikkonen has a puncture, and now he's on the racing line as well. This is Raikkonen. What is Raikkonen doing? Once again, the second time in a row, Pirelli and now Raikkonen has spun Hulkenberg. And Raikkonen just continues to be on the racing line. If this doesn't result in a penalty, I don't know what does. And now Raikkonen is just weaving about all over the track. What is he doing? Now that's demoted Hulkenberg down to the back of the grid. And once again, now Raikkonen, second race in a row, Pirelli bring the super soft to a race and they puncture. So Pirelli have not fixed their tyres. Which is something they still need to look into. So that should now promote Suttil up into the points, and yes it is, see that steering wheel, it's up into P10. Other cars still trained up behind Valtteri Bottas. Now Massa going to look to make a move on his teammate. Into the braking zone, yes he does. Yellow flag's out ahead. I mean, Massa's going to have to slot back in behind his teammate for the time being. And there's Raikkonen. Once again on the racing line, now Bottas has hit Raikkonen. Bottas has half spun on Raikkonen. Okay, Bottas has lost some of his front wing, so Bottas is going to have to pit at the end of this lap. Now here comes Button. And now Button's been spun by Raikkonen now. Now how are these two going to get past? Oh, so Raikkonen once again swerves into the way of Suttil, and now he's hit Magnussen. Magnussen's got no front wing. Button looks to escape without any damage. And now he's got damage now. Crash into Raikkonen again. Now Raikkonen's holding up Verne and Gutierrez. Now it's holding up the Lotuses, the Caterhams, the Marussias, and Hulkenberg once again. Now Raikkonen's facing the wrong way. That pretty much just sums up Raikkonen's race. Back out in front. Rosberg's leading, as I guess some of the cars are now coming to the pits. Yeah, pit stops have now happened. Unfortunately missed all them in the midst of watching Raikkonen not know how to drive a Formula 1 car. Now that should put Suttil in a 13th, 12th, dies up the inside of Max Chilton and of the Caterham as well. Well, I believe that is Ericsson. Now Bottas, after his pit stop for a new front wing, has come up behind Suttil and Verne. Now Verne's going to be looking to pull away now. Rosberg going to exit the pits behind his teammate. Now as Perez into the pits. There's Gutierrez, Kvyat. And Magnussen's right at the back now. So it's Hamilton that leads out in front. Rosberg second. Massa is now up to third. Vettel's now fourth. Ricciardo 5th, Alonso's down to 6th, Perez 7th, Verne 8th, Suttil 9th, and Bottas rounding out the points in 10th. With Button, it's possible he can still get points. And one of the Mauritius is there in 11th, Gutierrez 12th, Kvyat battling for 13th, Okamoto's back up to 15th, the Lotus 16th, Kobayashi 17th, Chilton 18th, with Magnussen right behind, and Ericsson in 20th, and Raikkonen bring up the rear of the grid. Hamilton's not been able to build much of a gap to his teammate. Rosberg could easily close this gap. The question is, can they actually close it though? Alonso just looks to be falling away from the two Red Bulls now. I think this shows why Alonso wants to leave the team and move to McLaren for next season. Perez having a strong race in 7th. Now Bottas is right on the back of Suttil. I'll be looking to take his 9th place. In the stadium section, Bottas does just that and takes 9th place from Suttil. I don't think Suttil will be too annoyed about that, seeing he's still in the points for Sauber. There's Ricciardo going to looking to close on his teammate Vettel. Ricciardo makes an easy move past his teammate there to take 3rd position. But Vettel's going to fight it around the outside. Keeps his nose in, but Ricciardo's taken the position. Bottas now right on the back of Verne, and they both dropped Suttil significantly. Now, can Bottas make a move on Verne into the stadium section? And can Vettel try and move back on his teammate Ricciardo to take back a podium position? As well, Ricciardo got a problem. Ricciardo's engine's gone. Ricciardo's out of the race. So that gives Vettel back his podium position. Actually, no, it doesn't, because Massa's in the podium position. That gives Vettel back 4th place. Alonso's back up to 5th. Perez is now 6th, with Verne and Bottas doing battle for 7th. This allows Suttil to close right back up. And it also puts Button back into the points. Yeah, Button is now in P10. As Suttil is relying on a move on the Toro Rosso Verne. Looks to the inside and takes his position. Now Bottas can stay after Perez in the remaining 4 laps of this race. Rosberg doesn't look to be closing the gap to Hamilton at all, really. Hamilton's just managing the gap back to his teammate. Perez doing a good job in 6th. We're going to have a hard task holding off the Williams of Valtteri Bottas. And can Suttil keep Verne at bay for the remaining 3 laps? And can Button get involved in this battle if the two ahead start squabbling? Van's closing. DRS going to look to make a move into the hairpin. Yes, he does. Cecil better on the brakes and keeps ahead. Bottas has got quite a large gap to close to Perez. So Till's kept ahead of Van for the time being. Into the stadium section once again. How can Van make a move in the DRS zone? Not quite. This DRS zone is not really effective enough to try and make an overtake. Not long enough for that, really. But now, can Van make a move going into the hairpin? Pulls to the inside. So once again, Suttil later on the brakes and holds it round the outside, which compromises Van's exit for the corner and allows Sutter to pull away slightly. But now, just as I was saying before, the more these two battle ahead, the more Button can actually catch up and try and get involved in this fight. Try and salvage something from this race. Gap between Mercedes looks just remaining relatively the same. And Verne isn't quite close enough to try and make a move. Is Van going to try and move into the hairpin? See the closing speed and how much DRS just allows people to close it, but so it still goes a bit deep into the hairpin. But Van can't make anything of it. Looks like Raikkonen might actually get lapped for a second time in this race. Bottas now closing in to right behind Perez onto the final lap of the race. Can Perez hold 6th position? And Suttil going defensive from Verne, and now Button's right on the back of them. It's much going to be Van's last chance to make an overtake. Now Button's going to try and get past both of them. And make it 3 wide into the hairpin. Once again, Suttil's best on the brakes and keeps his position. And Hamilton's won the German Grand Prix with Rosberg in second. Massa's going to come around to finish 3rd and complete the podium. And it'll make no Mercedes power podium. Vettel's going to take 4th. Alonso's going to take 5th. Bottas has got past Perez to take 6th. Perez is now 7th. Suttil can hold on to this, he's going to be 8th. With Verne 9th. and Button rounding out the points. On the final corner, and Suttil is going to take 8th place. See there? Vern actually got a penalty which demoted him down to 10th. Still, more points for Toro Rosso. That's what they need, really. Also what Sauber need as well. Another strong finish for Suttil. Another 4 points. Still doesn't put them anywhere near Toro Rosso in the constructors, but just creates more of a gap between them and the other back market teams. So Hamilton won the race. Rosberg 2nd, Massa 3rd, Vettel 4th, Alonso, then Bottas, Perez, Suttil, Button and Vern. With Kvyat quite a way behind, Hulkenberg with a good recovery up to 12th, Gutierrez 13th, then Bianchi. Magnussen was down in 15th after losing his front wing, then Grosjean, Kobayashi, Maldonado, Ericsson, Chilton, Raikkonen 1 lap down, and Ricciardo didn't finish this race. Once again, another puncture on the super soft tyres. Something Pirelli definitely need to fix before they use in the next race, which I believe they use at Hungary, so something Pirelli definitely need to try and fix for the next race, or bring a harder compound of tyres. So that's been the German Grand Prix. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I did. And remember to like, subscribe and all that stuff, and I'll see you next time.